everyone, and welcome to Her Side, His Side. I'm Dr. Carol. And in today's episode, what we're going to be talking about is, are you getting played? Is he blowing hot and cold? And how to figure out if he's really serious about you or not. Because that is really a question that a lot of women have these days, because men just are sometimes really hard to read. So we're going to go through a few points, a few signs that you really need to watch out for, so you know whether he's really serious or whether he's just kind of playing you. So first of all, you need to look and see if his behavior is inconsistent or not. So maybe you go on your first date and he's like, oh my gosh, you're the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, and I could stay with you for the next 50 years. But then, you don't hear from him really for a long time, or in between dates, maybe he doesn't text you or call you very much. If he's not consistent, then he's probably not that serious about you. The next thing you need to think about is he taking you out on dates? That might seem like an obvious thing, but in today's day and age, it's just way too easy for men to sit around on their phone and text multiple women because they really just like the attention and they kind of like having pen pals. So if he's not taking you out in public on a formal date and paying, he's probably not that serious. He's probably just using you as his own entertainment, unfortunately. Another thing is, when does he see you? When does he take you out on dates? Is he hitting you up after 9, 10 o'clock or later at night? Is he saying, hey, let's Netflix and chill? Netflix and chill? What that's code for, of course, that is code for sex. And if he's just contacting you later at night and or asking you to come over, then, he's probably just wanting a booty call, and then he's not serious. Another huge thing to look out for is that he refuses to define your relationship. You're probably confused. Maybe after several months, you're like, I really like him, things are going pretty well, but he just doesn't talk about anything related to commitment. He doesn't use the word exclusive, or monogamous, or not dating anybody else. He might use terms like, I love hanging out with you. Well, maybe he's just using those words on purpose, and you really need to pay attention to them, because if you try to bring it up and he says things like, oh, well, let's just see where it goes. That sounds all right, right? Well, okay, great, let's see where it goes. But a lot of time that is code for, I'm not really sure about you yet, so I'm not going to commit to anything. So if he's not defining your relationship, if within, say, a month or two of dating, you're not at least exclusive, and he's not your boyfriend, you're not his girlfriend by, say, 2 to 3 months, then I'd probably give up on him because he's not serious. Another thing is, he's not very affectionate. Now, not everybody likes affection, but there's more to a relationship than just sex. And a lot of people think sex is affection, and it is. But what about hand-holding? What about cuddling? Those are very emotionally intimate things to do. And so if he is not doing any of those, he might just think of you as a booty call and somebody to hang out with. So, watch how affectionate he is, because you could be one of many girls in his life, not just one girl, especially if you've not had any sort of commitment talk, like I just mentioned. Another huge bad sign or red flag is that he's always sexting you or sending you pictures of his private parts. So many women complain about that, and I can't blame them. And unfortunately, a lot of women think that sexting is a way to either get men interested or keep them interested, but all it says is that I'm easy. You can come over and have sex with me whenever you want. I don't need a commitment. So don't sext with them. If he does send you a picture of his private parts, make a comment like, this is not what I'm looking for, this is unacceptable, unless you're in a committed relationship, well, that's fine, but if you're not, then he has one thing on his mind. So don't participate in that. And also look at your online dating or dating app profiles and your pictures and what you say, because maybe you gave off the wrong message to him and he thinks that you're just going to be an easy lay, but in your mind you're not thinking that. So don't engage in sexting. Another thing to think about besides sexting is, are you meeting his family? Are you meeting his friends? Is he incorporating you into his life at all? Maybe he has kids. Have you met the kids? I mean, of course, if they're little kids, you don't really want to meet them too soon, but you should, after a certain amount of time, be incorporating into each other's lives. You should be becoming more of a unit and not separate people. So if that's not happening, he's probably just having fun with you, seeing where it goes. Maybe he sees his friends with benefits. Whatever it is, he just doesn't see it as important. You're not important enough to incorporate and integrate into his life fully. So another thing is, he never talks about the future. So this is tightly and closely linked to, he doesn't want to define the relationship. But even if, say, you are in a relationship where you're exclusive or you think you're committed, if you never hear words like marriage or family, or even something like next year, or let's take a vacation at Christmas, or anything that indicates that he sees you in his future long term, and it doesn't have to be 2 decades from now, but what about next month, next year? If he's not talking about any of that, then you might want to try to notice that, because maybe it's not on his mind. And if it's not on his mind, then he's probably not taking it very seriously. He's probably just in the moment and being very casual. You also want to see too, like, maybe you are casually dating, or maybe you are even exclusive. How does he act with his phone? Is he very protective of it? Does he put it away? Does he, hide it if a text comes in? Look how he acts around his phone, because guilty people will protect their phone very, very carefully, because they don't want anyone to know that they're doing anything wrong. If they're not doing anything wrong, they wouldn't have to protect their phone. So just keep an eye on that. How does he act around that? Because he could have dating apps on his phone. He could be talking to 10 or 20 different girls and he wouldn't know it. So read his nonverbals, read his body language when his phone is around. Like, maybe you want to borrow his phone to play a song on YouTube, and he's like, no, I'll do it. Well, there's probably a reason he doesn't want you to see his phone. Another thing to look out for, does he go MIA? A guy who's not very interested really won't keep in touch with you that much. A guy who is interested will keep you in touch. A guy who's really interested wants to lock you down. So they don't want you thinking about other guys or chatting with other guys. They won't disappear on you. Guys who are interested do not disappear, but a guy who's not that interested or not very into committing to you will sometimes just disappear. And then magically, he might come back as if nothing ever happened. It might be a day, 2 days, a week. You might think, well, did he ghost me? Is he gone for good? Well, if you're wondering, if you're confused, then that's a really bad sign that he's probably not serious at all, because he can kind of take you or leave you. If he was really into you, you would know. You would not be questioning it. Another thing is, do his words and his actions match? And that kind of goes with the first point that I made. Maybe he says he's going to take you out this weekend, but then the day rolls around and you haven't heard from him yet. And you're like, didn't we say we had plans on Friday? So you're sitting there going, well, do I still wait for him? Or do I make plans with someone else or with my friends? So if he's not really following up and making sure the plans are set, he's probably just a smooth talker and says he's into you, but if he doesn't act like it, then he probably isn't. If he blows hot and cold, that's a bad sign. Again, this is the confusing factor, right? It's really simple. If you're confused about how he's acting, then he's probably not into you. If you have to question it, then it's not a good sign. So if he's blowing hot and cold, you're like, oh, he really, really likes me 1 minute. And then, you know, the next day you're like, oh, did he disappear on me? I don't really know if he likes me or not. He's blowing hot and cold. So when you're with him, he might be all over you and the chemistry's so great and like, oh, okay, we're good. But then, you know, he goes silent or he goes cold, and then there's another pattern of inconsistency. Well, that's a really, really bad sign. Another bad sign, which doesn't really seem like a bad sign, but it really is that he's love bombing you. Like, well, what is love bombing? That doesn't sound bad. That sounds good, right? If you're not familiar with what love bombing is, it's really when someone compliments you all the time, like, oh, you have the most beautiful eyes, your eyes are like the ocean. I've heard that one before. Or, you know, you're the sexiest woman alive, or, you know, you're the most beautiful thing, like, I've, you know, waited all my life for you, you know, all these great things that, of course, any woman would want to hear, but if, you know, that's all you get, and then, again, he kind of goes cold, lots of times it's all that talk is really just BS. He's really just buttering you up so you fall for him, and then when you fall for him, he can kind of use you and do whatever he wants because you really, really like him, right? So it's called love bombing, and it's just like putting all this love and compliments and all this stuff on you. So you're like, oh, he's the man of my dreams, but then he's really not serious about it. Again, it's just empty words, so don't fall for that. I mean, there are men who can genuinely compliment you and really feel it, but there's a real difference between love bombing and knowing when someone's genuine, and your gut will always tell you the difference. Another thing that says that he's not serious and you could be getting played is that he's always busy. When I say busy with the quotes around it, it means like, sure, you know, we're all busy. We all have jobs or kids and life, but when you really, really like someone, you're not too busy to see them or to talk to them. You know, if it's like you send him a text and then 12 hours later, a day later, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry I haven't gotten back to you sooner. You know, I've been so busy. Well, yeah, you go to the bathroom, right? You could take, you know, 30 seconds or a minute to text me back. And the guys who are interested in you, they do that. They do. They do not say, oh, I'm so busy with work. Oh, my kids, I'm busy with my kids. No. I don't care how busy a man is. If he really is into you, he will not make excuses. Busy is just an excuse for, I'm really not feeling it and I feel kind of bad, so I'm just going to say that I'm busy. No, busy is a bad excuse. And the last thing that really is a huge red flag is that, especially, I mean, not in the beginning, not when you're just newly dating, but, you know, maybe a couple months in, 2 to 3 months, if you've had the exclusive talk, you're exclusive, maybe you're in an official relationship, so you think things are good, but you know what? He never posts a picture of you on social media, or if you post one and you tag him, he never accepts the tag. And you probably after a while are like, well, why not? Like, there's probably a reason, you know? Probably because he doesn't want anyone to know that you are a part of his life. Not that there's anything against you, but, you know, maybe he's talking to other people, or maybe he's just not really that committed to you yet, and so he doesn't want to really announce to the world that you're a couple. That is a huge red flag. I've known many guys who've said, oh, I went out with this girl and she tagged me all the time with these photos and I just wasn't ready for that, or I didn't really like her that much. And so, there's that right there. Social media is a huge part of a lot of people's lives. And if he's just not incorporating you or presenting you to the world through social media, then it's a red flag. I know not everybody is into social media, and that's fine. But look at what he did before you. Did he post a lot on social media? Did he post ex-girlfriends? If he did, and now he's not doing it with you, then you have a problem. But if he doesn't ever post anything on social media, well, that's just his normal habit. But nevertheless, just keep your eye out for that. So those are really my tips for, is he hot and cold? Or, am I getting played? Is he serious about me? Is he not serious about me? Because it's not always easy really to know. We always want to hope for the best. And sometimes we have these rose-colored glasses on and we don't really see their bad behavior. And we kind of rationalize it, like the busy excuse. Oh, yeah, he was just busy. No. So I have one final thought left for you. Pay attention to your gut. If your gut is saying, something seems off here. Something doesn't seem right. I'm feeling insecure. I'm questioning things. I'm confused. Those are your gut. Those are the messages from your gut and your intuition saying, you're right, something's not right here. Because when it is right and the man is really into you, you won't have those questions. They won't even enter your mind because you will know he is serious about you. So, just keep that in mind because, today's dating world is just so confusing, and it's really hard sometimes for a lot of women to really read the signs of whether he's really interested or not. So those are my tips for this episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like it, please share it with other people, other women who really might need this advice too. And I hope you learned something. For more information about me or my coaching services, you can go to drcarolmorgan.com. It's drcarolmorgan.com. Or you can go to my website, Her Side, His Side, which has lots of relationship and dating advice there. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode, and we'll see you next time.